Aurora and Arthur Petrova, a boat ride at Birmingham Canal. On Thursday, August 23rd, the morning air is thick and gray as Petar and young Arthur start their virtual moving day. In room 181, they pack with rudimentary, careful haste, lest any precious moment in this hotel room goes to waste. Collaborate, Petar commands. To maintain a steady pace, the black BMW estate has limited and cramped trunk space. The itinerary is set, though Arthur's feeling quite reluctant, while Petar, the former, acts like a packing consultant. The latter hauls a heap of bags, a precious heavy load. Day in, day out, they're preparing for the open road. "Give way," Petar cries out. "Lest we obstruct the narrow hall, we must vacate this vacant room and answer duty's call." To eliminate the clutter is an indispensable daily chore before they ditch the Holiday Inn and walk out through the door. Aurora waits with patience, though her heart is far away, dreaming of the London streets where she prefers to play. "Is it time?" she asks her father with a soft and hopeful sigh, as she watches grayish clouds drift across the Midlands sky. "Not yet," Petar replies, checking every drawer and shelf, whilst Arthur keeps the heavy bags and boxes to himself. With light at the end of the tunnel, and less is more, they say, they proceed to the hallway to finally start their day. The monotony is stifling, a feeling they must now evade, before the memories of their London life begin to fade. Outside, the black BMW stands ready on the street, a 2013 series estate looking polished and quite neat. Petar and Arthur hoist the bags into the cavernous rear as the reality of moving day becomes incredibly clear. "Is everything accounted for?" Petar asks with bated breath, avoiding a packing disaster that would feel like social death. Arthur nods his head, adjusted green glasses on his nose, while the tension of the relocation steadily grows and grows. It is a monumental task, a logistical grand feat, to fit their entire lives upon a leather-covered seat. The boot is shut with a heavy thud, a metallic final sound, as they prepare to leave this concrete, hotel-dotted ground. Inside the car, Aurora flips a Ribena bottle high, a precarious display that catches her father's weary eye. Her pink clips catch the sunlight on this erratic August day, as she seeks a little thrill to pass the travel time away. She's prone to perform tricks, oblivious to the growing dread, while Petar's focus is on the winding road that lies ahead. Inadvertently, he spots her, and he's incensed to the core. His ire starts to escalate. He can't take any more. "Arthur, stop that!" he shouts out, his fury quite intense. He accidentally used the wrong name. It doesn't make much sense. "Not so fast," Aurora giggles. "It was me, you silly dad." Petar feels like a muppet, and his error makes him mad. "Hold your horses," Petar sighs. "I was caught red-handed there, but such juvenile behavior is a burden I can't bear." His incompetence at names is a big mistake, it's true, as they proceed toward the water under skies of pale blue. Arthur laughs at the mistake, a funny little fluke, while Petar tries to soften his admonish and rebuke. "You're the apple of my eye," he tells Aurora with a wink, trying to stop her spirit from beginning to deeply sink. But the tension of the move to Birmingham is ever near, a looming 2019 cloud of uncertainty and fear. "I miss the TfL buses," Aurora mutters with a frown. "London has a diversity you can't find in any other town." At Birmingham Canal, the trio starts to slowly stroll. The scent of stagnant water is surprisingly good for the soul. The sibilant sound of ripples against the ancient rusted wall creates a soothing atmosphere that captivates them all. Aurora and Arthur walk ahead, their colors bright and bold, while stories of the industrial past are waiting to be told. "Look at the ducks." Arthur cries, pointing with his hand, as they explore this watery, labyrinthine urban land. The path is narrow, paved with brick, a heritage-rich trail, where once the heavy narrowboats would carry coal and mail. They feel ecstatic and elate, their spirits start to soar, as they walk along the towpath and begin to further explore. They stop to buy some snacks, a choice that's second to none. Better late than never to have some foodie, sugary fun. Petar and Aurora enter the small and rustic canal shop, where the variety of treats makes their hungry heartbeats hop. "Of course," she cries, loquacious. "Orange juice is what I need," as she reaches for the muffins with impressive, hungry speed. Petar eyes the fruitcake, a dense and dark delight, thinking it will keep his energy levels peaked and bright. "It's the thought that counts," he says, grabbing a cold Coke, while Aurora finds the muffin selection a very tasty joke. They proceed to the counter with their sugary sweet prize, as the shopkeeper watches them with wide and curious eyes. Arthur stands with Petar as they finish up their trade, content with the delicious snack selections they have made. "A flapjack for me," Arthur says with a green and joyful grin, ensuring that his favorite treat is tucked safely within. He grabs a bottle of water, clear and crisp and cool, knowing that staying hydrated is the #1 golden rule. "You're not wrong," Petar says. "These snacks are quite variable, but the sight of all the sugar is nearly unbearable." They're ecstatic and elate. Their spirits start to soar, as they walk back to the towpath to see what is in store. With irresistible cravings and a loquacious little crew, they find a spot to sit and enjoy the shimmering watery view. The boat ride is next, a highlight they won't want to miss. A moment of pure canal-side atmospheric bliss. "Can we go pond dipping?" Aurora starts to loudly plead. "I long to see the minnows and the tangles of the weed." Petar looks at the murky depths and hesitates a while. He gives a reticent shrug and a very weary, tired smile. "I'll think about it," he says, which means a certain no. Aurora's face turns crestfallen, her energy drops low. She's distraught and dismayed, on the verge of shedding tears, as her request for pond dipping swiftly disappears. Under no circumstances, Petar finally, firmly declares, the peril and the jeopardy are more than any father dares. It's out of the question, forbidden and strictly off limits too, a U-turn on his promise, much to Aurora's obvious rue. They board a narrowboat, a vessel small and quaint. The wood is weathered deeply, with flakes of peeling paint. "All in the same boat," Arthur shouts with a wide, toothy grin, as the motor starts to rumble and the journey can begin. The boat chugs along, putt, 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 a rhythmic steady beat, offering the weary travelers a very welcome cushioned seat. Aurora sits by the edge, her pink glasses perched on her nose, watching as the green-tinged water around the bow stem flows. Arthur leans forward, his green shirt a vibrant, grassy hue, as the industrial landscape gives way to a greener view. They are on borrowed time, enjoying this peaceful, slow pace, away from the frantic, moving day Birmingham race. The sun peeks through the clouds, a golden, sudden ray, illuminating the canal on this very special summer day. They spot a rare kingfisher, a flash of cobalt, brilliant blue, a sight that is out of this world and seemingly so new. "Elementary, my dear." Aurora cries out very loud, as a heron stands quite still, looking elegant and proud. They see a water vole, eluding every watchful eye, while dragonflies like jewels go buzzing quickly, softly by. It's reminiscent of a dream, albeit rather slow, as they watch the lilies ripple in the water's gentle flow. Extol the virtues of the wild, Arthur begins to shout, wondering what other creatures are currently out and about. Not only do they see the birds, but also tiny, jumping frogs, hiding in the shadows of the mossy, sunken, rotting logs. The diversity of nature is a metaphor for the city she loves, from the tiny water insects to the soaring white-winged doves. They visit St. Paul's Square, where the Daniels now reside, in a spacious modern flat with nowhere left to hide. Pastor Ayodele greets them with a warm and holy glow, while the contemporary decor puts on a vibrant, stylish show. He wears big, black, round-rimmed glasses on his kind and aged face, welcoming the Petrovas into his peaceful, hallowed space. Petar engages in a chat, his voice is deep and low, as they discuss the future and where the family might go. Ikabo, the pastor says, with a wide and welcoming hand, to the new arrivals in this busy, Midland-centered land. Petar feels the weight of the move, the tension in his chest, as he wonders if this Birmingham life is truly for the best. The atmosphere is modest, yet it feels incredibly grand, with treasures from a beautiful and far-off Nigerian land. Mrs. Bolaji Daniel enters with a smile so bright and wide, with pilot-style glasses that she wears with effortless pride. She greets Aurora warmly, with a hug that feels like home, encouraging the young girl to no longer feel the need to roam. "Come in, my dear," she says, her voice a melodic, sweet song. "You are exactly where you are meant to rightfully belong." Aurora looks around at the fabrics, the patterns, and the art, feeling a tiny spark of warmth within her London-loving heart. The diversity here is rich, a tapestry of culture and of light, making the prospect of the move seem a little more bright. Bolaji leads the way to the kitchen, where the spices start to flare, filling the apartment with a delicious and a mouth-watering air. "Ise," Aurora whispers, using the Yoruba she was taught, grateful for the kindness and the comfort that she sought. Then Petar makes a statement, a proposal quite profound, that sends Aurora's world a-spinning, crashing to the ground. "In 2019 and 2020, he says, we moved to Birmingham for good." Aurora stares in horror, as if she's made of heavy wood. The clash of their desires is an irrevocable, painful thing, as she thinks of all the joy that the capital used to bring. "Don't alienate me, Dad. This plan is proper, absolute pants. I object to moving here and all these pastor chants." Pastor Ayodele listens, his expression calm and very wise, watching the frustration dancing in the young Aurora's eyes. It's a dilemma, to say the least, a conflict of the young heart, as her love for London buses is torn completely, sadly apart. Petar remains insistent. His decision is firm and quite set, despite the rising tide of his daughter's obvious regret. Mo arrives from Primrose Hill, a visitor from the south, bringing news of London town to every hungry waiting mouth. She finds Aurora on the balcony, looking at the city view, feeling like a stranger in a world that's frighteningly new. "I miss the TFL," Aurora cries, "the red buses and the grime. I feel like moving here is just a waste of precious time." Mo listens with a sympathetic, kind and gentle, nodding head, knowing there are many words of comfort left to be said. Birmingham is different, yes, but it has a heart of gold, with many secret stories that are waiting to be told. But Aurora is reluctant. Her loyalty is deep and very strong, to the city where she feels she truly and completely should belong. The tension is exacerbated by the heat of the summer sun, as she feels her London childhood is effectively, finally done. The dinner bell is ringing, so they gather round for meat. A Nigerian feast is served, a spicy, savory, and aromatic treat. Mrs. Bolaji brings the bowls with an exemplary, practiced flair, as the scent of red stew lingers in the humid evening air. "Unje tide," she announces as the steam begins to rise, bringing a look of pure excitement to Mo's hungry bright eyes. There's amala and iba, and okra smooth and vibrant green, the most superior banquet that the kids have ever seen. Mo helps to serve the portions, her hands moving with grace. bringing a sense of community to this unfamiliar, new place. "Don't mention it," says Mo, with a wide and friendly smile, as they tuck into the food in their own unique and hungry style. The table is a riot of color, of scent, and of spicy sound, as the best of two worlds is finally, successfully found. Petar and Arthur sit together, ready to begin the meal, appreciating the authentic and the very home-cooked feel. "This is incredible," Petar says, his appetite quite grand, reaching for the iba with a steady and an eager hand. Arthur tries the stew, his green glasses fogging from the heat, finding the spicy explosion a truly wonderful and tasty feat. "It's a bit hot," he gasps, reaching for his water bottle fast, knowing that this flavorful experience is one that's sure to last. Furthermore, the iwidu is a slippery and a green delight, though they eat it slowly, with faces of pale and curious white. The taste is second to none, a culinary spicy dream, as the steam from the amala rises in a steady, thick stream. Petar looks at his son, seeing the joy upon his youthful face, feeling a little more at home in this welcoming, warm space. The tension of the move is momentarily, briefly put aside, as they ride the spicy wave of this Nigerian culinary tide. But peace is short-lived, as a brawl begins to loudly brew between the two Petrovas over what they want to view. "Nick Jr., Netherlands," Arthur bellows. "It's my penultimate choice." "Disney Jr., Aurora screams with a high and vocal voice. The cacophony is dreadful, a bedlam of the youthful mind, as they squabble and they bicker, and they're anything but kind. The remote is the trophy, the center of the fierce dispute, as they both refuse to stay calm, and they both refuse to be mute. "I'll confiscate the remote," Petar warns with a loud, stern shout, but the anarchy continues as they jump and run about. It's pandemonium, a quarrel, a relentless, loud, sibling fray, as they mimic one another in a very infantile, childish way. The diversity of their tastes is a clash of two different worlds, as the battle for the television slowly and noisily unfurls. Alas, the day must finish at the Premier Inn at last. Room 264 is where their weary, tired bones are finally cast. Petar and Arthur carry the final bags into the new space, both of them showing the exhaustion on each weary, tired face. "This is it for tonight," Petar sighs, sitting on the bed, with thoughts of the long days spinning in his aching head. Arthur explores the room, checking the view and the light, preparing for the final rest of this long and busy night. The move is nearly over, the transition is almost through, but there is still one more thing that they absolutely have to do. "Where is the food?" Arthur asks, his stomach starting to growl, looking around the hotel room with a hungry and a dark scowl. The day has been long, a journey of water, spice, and of song, and they both feel like they have been traveling for far too long. The dinner is from KFC, which Aurora proper truly hates. The sight of greasy chicken is the worst of all her fates. "It's abysmal," she complains. "And the cookies are too sweet." White chocolate is a rotten and a truly dreadful sugary treat. She accidentally drops a crumb upon the pristine hotel floor, feeling like she can't take this Birmingham life anymore. "No wonder I'm unhappy," she moans with a heavy, long sigh, as the light of the evening begins to wane and slowly die. Petar is exhausted, his patience and his energy are thin, as he tries to find some comfort in the quiet Premier Inn. He hands her a cookie, hoping to soften her London-bound heart, knowing that tomorrow is a brand new and a Birmingham start. With a belly full of chicken and a heart full of TFL dreams, Aurora falls asleep to the moon's soft, silver Midlands beams.